So today's topic is the minority. So minority, we all know when we said minority is less than 50%. So if over 50% is a majority. So if you use social media or YouTube, people might think how many followers in your social media accounts, how many followers, how many likes you have whenever you post something, how many comments, how many hearts you got, comments, the emoji. The more the merrier, isn't it? And how many, and when the majority, in this world, generally, when the majority agree, it becomes decision and it becomes solution. Yeah, am I right? In politics, especially in Australia, when we do the election, if nobody claim the majority of the seats of the House of Representatives, then what happened? They form minority government, or they call it hang parliament. So what happened? It's okay. They can still lead the country, but when they want to change the law, when they want to introduce new legislation, it's very hard for them because they don't have enough vote, because they are minority. So what happened? They have to negotiate with the MP who are independent MPs. It's hard. They have to give what they request, and then they agree, and then whenever they want to change, when they want to introduce new one or modify, it's very hard. Minority. But if you have a majority government like nowadays, Labour government majority, whenever they introduce a law, it's easily passed because they have enough vote. And it's directly one of these minority ethnic groups. Yeah, so directly, associate with us, minority ethnic groups. But people come from Burma. Yes, we are minority, but not for Philippines, not for the Chinese, not for the people from China. They are majority here, or Vietnamese and Lebanese. They are majority ethnic group, but we are minority. Yeah, so we know that it's hard. Sometimes minority is, the voice are not hard. Generally, in most cases, majority will win. The majority has the louder voice, yeah, because they're more. But in the sight of God, today I want to, in the sight of God, it's different. Let's dive into the Bible stories. How men of God, in the story, they are real life events, the real faith men of God. How men of God stood tall in the testing time, even though they were minority. Yeah, they are not many. In fact, some 1, some 3, some 8 in numbers to compare with the people against them. They are minority, but they stood up. They stand for their faith. So I like to go about 4 stories about, next slide please. We know this story, the minority. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. 3 of them, they stand tall. You can imagine only 3 out of the majority. The rest are bowing down the statue. But they didn't. They know the penalty. They know the punishment. What is going to happen to them? They're going to put into the fire, furnace. But they stood up and they stood for their faith. Here is minority, 3 of them. Majority is bound down because they scared. They don't want to die. But 3, they stand up. But they didn't die. We know that in the fire, Son of God become full. They come out of this fire without harm. The minority stood up. Next one. Next one is Daniel, their friend, their leader. He is lone prayer warriors. He's alone. He's an administrator, He is his high position. As soon as he had new degree come up, if he worship other than the king or the god of this country, put into the lion den, the king degree. As soon as he had he went back to his room. He opened the window. He kneel down and pray 3 times a day as usual. We all know that he was put into the lion den, but he lives. God shut the mouth of the lions. Not only that, God shut the mouths of these people who accuse him. They all, and then put into the lion den, and they all died. The minority stood up. Next one. Joshua and Caleb. Moses sent 12 spies into the promised land. 40 days. They went there 40 days. 2 out of 12 said, yes, if God is with us, we will conquer this land. They went to the same land. They saw same people. They saw same giant. They saw same thing. The same amount of time they are spending there. They saw exactly the same the rest of the 10. But they said, if God is with us, we can conquer the land. People, the Israelites about to stone them, God intervened. We all know that. And let me tell you, only these 2 people, Joshua and Caleb, they are land on the promised land. They step on the promised land. The rest of the people, they die in the wilderness. Minority stood up. Next one. We know this story as well. Prophet Elijah. Verse 450 Baal's prophets. It's obvious, one verse, 450 of them. Who's going to win? If in our human calculation, 450, of course. But in God's calculation is different. The 450 people, they cry out, they hide themselves, they slash their skin, they cry out, they dance, the whole day. No answer. Majority, loud voice, but no answer. But when the prophet of the living God called out, the fire came down. And all 450 Baal prophets were executed. Yes, as a human idea, majority always have, upper hands. But in the eyes of God, it's different. I like to read the Bible verse that I choose for today's sharing. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17 to 18. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Whatever we see, it will be all gone. But whatever we don't see, what we don't see, our soul, our spirit, our faith, our salvation, we can't show them, but we know it. Whoever focus is on that eternal thing, it will be stay forever. I like to go to a little bit of detail for another story of minority. It's a family of 8. His name is Noah. Whenever you heard about name Noah, it's come up there, the ark. Yeah. Family, his wife, 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and 3 daughters-in-law. God said, hey, the sinfulness, the filthiness of God, filthiness of the human, come up to me. I'm going to wipe them out, destroy, and start again. But for you, you are righteous, you walk with me, so I give you a mission to build an ark. Can you show the picture, please? To build an ark. So, and then he said, after you finish, it's going to rain, it's going to flood. These three things, they never experienced before, never seen before. An ark, the rains, and the floods. But they kept their faith in God, and they listen, obey, and they start building that they don't never build before. An ark. They can't build whatever they want. They have to build according to their God's instruction. 3 stories, and then also you have to put all the animals, room for animals, and there's only one door. But what happened? How many years? 120 years. They have to build. All of the 120 years, people come and mock them, jeer them, ridicule them, make fun of them. Noah, are you okay? Are you crazy? Why are you doing this one? Where is the rain? Who said it's going to rain? Why is there floods? Are you going to finish? Day after day, not only 12 days, not only 12 months, 120 years, Noah family, they suffer. But they kept obey God, and they keep, and at the same time they preach them. Hey, repent, turn back to God. This is going to God. We're going to punish. Because it's going to flood. It's going to wipe out. They don't believe. They've been mocked. They've been called by name. You can imagine. But cut the story short, rains come. When the time comes, God is the one who shut the door. Noah go inside. And then start rains. Waters come out. And then after 40 days, 40 nights, the whole world was flooded. Only 8 people left. The rest died. Next picture, next slide, please. When they go into the ark, they enter into the ark as a minority group. I want to repeat it again. When they go into the ark, only 8 of them. To compare with others, the rest, they are minority group. After the floods, everything is fine. When they come out of the ark, they become the more than majority. In fact, they are the final number, total number of human population on that time. And the new beginning start. They might be minority for 120 years. After floods, they become total number that start for new beginning. Minority stood up. They stand. There's one more person I want to share. He stood up and he carried for us. Luke chapter 23, verse 21. But they kept shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." Yeah. Majority, the voice is so loud, louder and louder. Even them, they might be disciples, the woman, they come and pray or see Jesus, what is going to happen. They come and see Jesus. They might be there. They might be minority. They might be, don't crucify him. They might say that way. But majority, the leader said, "Crucify him." The voice louder and louder. First, the King Pilate said, "Oh no, I didn't see any sin, anything deserve to die for this man. And they keep shouting, "Oh, crucify him, crucify him." John 19:15-16. But they shouted, take him away, crucify him. "Shall I crucify your king?" Pilate asked. "We have no king but Caesar," the chief priests answered. Finally, Pilate handed him over to them to be crucified. King Pilate knew that Jesus has no sin, not deserve to die. But the majority cry out, crucify him, crucify him. Finally, he has to agree with majority. Majority, the voice louder and louder, so they got what they wanted. And then Pilate has to agree with them. Majority won on that moment. They make sure Jesus was crucified. Yeah, they make sure Jesus was dead. We all know the story. Yeah, even they come yesterday. We shared that they come and check because Jesus already dead, so they just peer this from the side. They make sure Jesus buried, not only there, buried in a tomb, in a grave. They maybe declare on that time, we win. We are the winner. But they realized that they were defeated when Jesus was resurrected. On Friday, Jesus went into the tomb as a lone victim, but on Resurrection Sunday, Jesus came up as the eternal victor for all believers. He alone carried the cross on which the load of their whole world's sins on it. Minority. He alone carried. Jesus overcame the death and the grave. He declared eternal victory over Satan's sins and grave. Jesus stays standing. We know it. Jesus stays alive. He lives forever. Because he stands, we stand. We can stand. Because he lives, so do we. Our sins are forgiven. We are righteous. We are justified. Who said? Jesus said. Why? Because he says so. Whoever have faith in him, we are righteous. We are justified. So brothers and sisters, when minority have kept their faith, finally they are the one who stands, who lives. Noah and eight of the Noah family, maybe minority for the whole 20 years. People mock them. It might be a routine to come. Hey, one day come boring. Hey, let's go mock this family. Say whatever they want. They make fun of them. After the floods, the minority began the total number of new beginning of humanity. Humanity started from this family. So 120 years, majority people mocked them, looked down on them, jeered them. But they stood up, they devoted to God, trust 100% to him. They endured for 120 years. One prepared the 120 years. Why 120 years? It's very important. Our lifespan, God gave us lifespan is 120 years. That means we have to devote it. We have to have faith, have faith in God all of our life, the whole of our lives. This is the journey of faith until we died. We faithfully serve, carry his glory. Okay, how about present time minority now? Next slide, please. Okay. Present time minority. You might come across nowadays, majority of people think going to church is a waste of time. That's why the church is becoming numbers are less and less now. Most of the people are getting older and older. New generation gone. No new members come up. Why are you still? They might come across, in the work colleagues, in their workplace. They say, why are you still going to church? It's a waste of time. Why are you still reading the old-fashioned book called Holy Bible? It can't fit with our modern ideas. It can't be applied in our daily lives. Because it is very, hard to apply. It's very old-fashioned. What's the point? You are still praying for someone else for a long time. There is no hope to change. No hope of change. Are you still praying? Or why are you still giving offering? You come to church, you give offering. Are you still giving tithing? It's a waste. You invest someone else, make profit. Why you say serving the Lord, serving a church, waste of time. Weekends have a rest. Friday enjoy their life. Sunday if you choose to walk, you might have more. But better have rest, me time, comfort time, because you make ready for Monday to Friday. You might come across this sort of criticism. Life itself is complicated already, brother. So choose easy, comfortable life. They might give you this advice. Life of a believer is not that easy, actually. But through God's strength and His provision, we are devoted God's until Jesus comes. God closed the door of the ark. That is in our time. When the Noah's time, when God closed the door, the ark, is the time of judgment come. In our time is when Jesus come back. This is like closing the door. The judgment will come. Matthew chapter 24, verse 37 to 39. Matthew chapter 24, verse 37 to 39. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage up to the day of Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. It will happen again. When Jesus comes back, some situation will happen again, even in a greater scale this time. Majority will be panic more, chaos more, looking for help more, but there is no answer and it's too late. Matthew chapter 7, 13 to 14. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, broad is the road that leads to destruction. Many enter through it. Majority enter through it, but leads to destruction. But small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life. Only a few find it. Minority find it. Only minority will find it, brothers and sisters. Before I conclude, I want to stress one more thing. The counting. As a human eyes, how many people here? We head counts. 1, 2, 3, 4 head counts. For God's principle, He count our heart, not head. It might be minority. When He count our hearts, it might be minority. Remember that. Heart count, not head count. As a church, we always remind and warn, and because we don't want anyone to miss out. We want everyone in the list, in the total number, when Jesus comes back. Noah's family went into the ark as a minority, but they come out as a only total majority number on that moment. Church, let's live as devoted minority. And we roar, we shout as a majority when Jesus comes back. Job 23 verse 10 said, "But He knows the way that I take. But when He has tested me, I will come forth as gold." When Jesus comes back, I want everyone in this church come forth as gold. As a majority, in fact, more than majority. We shall come forth as good and faithful servants, brothers and sisters. Finally, I want to read again the Bible verse that I chose for the minority. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17 to 18. Let's fix our eye to eternity. What is seen, everything will be gone. What unseen, that is kept for us in heaven. So let's focus on this. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. For we fix our eye not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Which is, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. We have communion today. Yeah? I read a Bible verse for communion. So last verse, I want to reread it again. For whenever you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until He comes. We proclaim the meaning of the Lord's death until He comes. Be faithful, have devoted. You might be minority, but make sure you are in that list. Amen? God bless you.